In fact, we started more or less a year ago to think about what's next, and especially in the scope of brand requirements. Of course, it's more and more, as we saw on the Carol presentation yesterday, links to the web portal. And definitely, what is the web portal of a brand? Can be ES or desktop. And in fact, if we are looking to what's happening and it's not linked to our technology, is 85% of the time, since the latest analytics from a Restory Group, as for example, this is a CMS, okay? And so if we are just looking at some this information, the CMS and the content management and the way to publish to the CMS is part really of the strategy of most of the brands. Okay? Because simply the CMS is a way to aggregate the information wherever it is. You can get CS, you can get ERP, you can get anything else. And so the benefits of the CMS is in fact something which is linked to the way to personalize a website. It gives you technology, tools, and services to deliver really engaging digital experiences. And so this is a way to really customize a website as you want, with a way to deliver highly personalized content, and of course to accelerate the communication with the brand. So, but in the meantime, what is missing by CMS today? For this is great. It works on every mobile. This is not an issue at all. But in the meantime, as soon as you have to figure out and manage tons of features, do you really think that people will upload thousands of files? Have you ever tried on your site to upload thousands of assets in WordPress, to Drupal, or whatever? It's just a mess. And so, and during the last 2 years, we saw on the market that people want to get down to organize their content, but like to use a CMS to publish the content. So of course today, and since a couple of years, you have tons of solutions, but not so much making the things very smart and to be able to streamline the content from down to the CMS. And so this is our purpose. And ES is really as a digital hub to be able to figure out this task, and with all multi-channels, all possibilities to push the content. So, and mainly for, this is one of these charts which is provided by Restory Group since a couple of years, but this is really the state of the art in terms of publishing, digital publishing. So it means that you have the DALIM at the bottom and you have the website at the top. And so between each of them, you need to figure out your channels to satisfy the needs of a brand. So definitely the CMS is the future of the content marketing. And so on our side, what we did, you know that we did some desktop. Desktop is a nice word to simplify the UI, to customize your experience, and to deliver the files in a way that has never been so easier before. But in the meantime, and this is also, we are working really hard to provide and to optimize the technology for the content, but we are not a CMS company in the meantime. So at one time, what we can do at one side, we cannot figure out on the other side. And so this is the desktop, this is the home of the brand. So of course at the end, 1 year ago, we were on the chat and we get the opportunity to get close to JAHIA. And so I will let Olivier to introduce you who is JAHIA. But it was really at the short beginning, they were searching also a DALIM solution. And especially there are some retailers, customers, where they have to figure out this way to manage thousands of features. And so we get closer, find where there was some potential competitors in the market. Of course, we are not alone. And really for the first time, because we were on the same line, we make something happen. And something happened is what? is, and for the first time since yesterday, you can find under Store JAHIA the DALIM plugin connector. So it means that you can download the file, you get more information from JAHIA, and at the end we make a demonstration. But now you have the first plugin available in the markets to drive the content from.
So I'm Olivier Mertens. Quickly said, I'm in charge of partnership and alliances for JAHIA in EMEA, and Mathieu will introduce himself later. So I want to make it short for the presentation because not everyone knows who JAHIA is. So a few slides to explain you our offer and our positioning. So this is summarized here. JAHIA actually exists since a little more than 12 years. We were born with the so-called WWTM experience, with the explosion of numerous websites where companies were communicating down to the people with those WCM applications. Now we introduce ourselves as a digital experience platform, so we are a software designer, builder, and we provide this platform that unifies, that brings together CMS, content management features, portal features, and since recently dedicated to business users, marketing, digital marketing features, and out-of-the-box commerce features. So what is our target today? Our target is to good. Is to address the two top priorities of the CEO today. It's the customer experience improvement and the digital marketing improvement. Let's use the base. So how do we bring those responses to those priorities, customer experience, improvement of digital marketing? We will facilitate a few topics there. We will facilitate digital innovation. Digital innovation is actually the name of the game. It's the mandate that the CEO gives to both CIO and CMO to work together to improve and to manage this digital transformation nowadays. And we also facilitate through that what we call the digital trust, because today the customer is expecting, when he has an experience with a brand, with a site, is expecting immediacy, convenience, and value from what it finds on this site, on this application. Otherwise, it will change, it will go elsewhere. So, at the same time as the customer is expecting this, he's also expecting, and he's worried a lot today, about the collection of his personal data. So I can give some insight into me, but should I trust the company, the brand, to whom I'm providing that? So it's important to be trusted, and trust comes with the respect of this private personal data and privacy. And so the customer wants immediacy, wants convenience, wants value, but he wants also an experience which is adapted to himself. So today it's important to personalize the digital experience down to the user. We are not talking only about segments, we are not talking about a typology of population, we are talking about individual user. My experience on site may be different from the one of Frederic. So this is also important to adapt to the user and at the same time to adapt, of course, to the channel. Now, omnichannel is everywhere. You jump from one device to another, you jump from one channel to another. So there are new channels coming out, linking in-store experience with digital experience. So it's important also to adapt to the channel and to be agile, meaning to evolve as the channels evolve, to evolve as the regulation evolves, to also be reactive when, for example, there is a crisis, when the company needs to communicate or to address some messages. It's important for this company to be very agile. So we serve companies like that. This is just one example of a typical company, an old company, which moved from in-store for agency services to online services. Europcar, the objective of Europcar was to have 60% of their business done online. Okay, and this is a specific example because our CEO, which at the time was also selling the software, was invited into a meeting between the IT and the business, and it was looking at those people, wondering what the IT was wondering why they had invited business, had invited JAHIA to the table, and because they said, okay, you want each time the business wants something, we are able, we deliver something. You ask us something, we deliver it, and the business was saying, yeah, you're too slow, and at the end it doesn't correspond, it doesn't help us making the business. So JAHIA was invited at the table, and finally the customer Europcar chose JAHIA, implemented the application, and it was delivered. The plan was 18 months for time to deliver. It was done in 15 months, and the same day, 15 languages, 15 countries were deployed at once. So this is a big picture where it shows in a single slide where we can be used. So we can be used for whatever, extranet, intranet, internet applications. So it can be intranet or B2C, B2B applications. We must not forget that we provide a platform with add-ons or modules which are specifically dedicated to a certain usage. We guarantee privacy control through what we call context server. So we are able also to deliver through various connectors, and this is what will be illustrated after a certain set of services. The same kind of big picture, but presented differently, where you have provision. We have provision of features out of the box for the front-end developer, front-end management capabilities, and on the back end a set of connectors, for example, typically which will relate the front-end application to the back-end repositories. And why can we deliver a project in less than at Europcar, for example, in less time than expected? It's because we also provide with the platform an environment, not a development, but a building and deployment environment that we call simply the studio. And with the studio, we can avoid a typical problem. The typical problem is that when you start a project, you start by designing, you make sketching, you make images, you show how the site, for example, will look like. Then you start developing some proof of concept with dynamic links, HTML pages, and so on. And then you choose a CMS, for example, that you will use to develop the application. And here comes the tunnel effect for the business user. The business user has no more interaction with the development team. And the problem at the end happens when there is a first delivery and the business user says, oh, during those 3 months, one, this is not exactly what I was expecting, and two, my needs have evolved. What can we do? We go back up and then down again. So, how do we propose to use JAHIA? Typically is to use through the so-called studio, the same environment for those people who are going to define the templates, the way the content will be presented, for example, for the people who will define the content types, which are represented in a JCR Jackrabbit structure, and also to the people who are going to develop the business logic, for example. And those that can use both the studio environment, but also at the same time their preferred IDE environment. So it means that we are working through the studio or the IDE on the same source repository. So this helps really deliver fast. Just a few words about our model, our business model. We are an open source company, meaning that there is a community edition. If you want to use it, you can download it directly from our website. And what we propose for the so-called enterprise edition and the add-ons, the modules, the specialized modules, is subscription, which brings support, online assistance, technical advice, and so on. So there's actually no license cost. You don't buy license. You buy a support subscription with China. And we finish with a few examples, which shows that we can be used in different applications. This is, for example, an extranet at Samsung North America. This is typically an internet, multiple languages, Ben & Jerry, everybody knows the brand. Abercrombie & Fitch, it's an intranet for the point of sales. And European Parliament, it's a bunch of projects, like the European Parliament knows how to do them. So now it's more than 100 projects done at European Parliament on the same platform. This is a catalog, an online catalog for Leclerc, and HomeAway, which has been acquired recently by Expedia. It's the online booking of vacation places. I will hand over directly to Mate.
Hello everybody, my name is Mate. The Brits can also call me Mate and buy me beer after. And here what I want to show you would be what was mentioned, JAHIA runs also.
Perhaps something which is important if you are based in very close.
Yes. Yeah, I'm based in, JAHIA is the headquarters is in Paris. I'm from the German-speaking market branch from the region DACH, and I'm based in Freiburg, just 40 minutes from here. And I'm the senior solution architect, and I'm doing everything that's necessary for the customers to answer technical questions about the product. And what I would also want to say about the beginning, JAHIA also runs in a Java environment. We run also an application server like Tomcat, so like ES is everything is very similar. We also use for some tasks also the database. You can also use a PostgreSQL or a MySQL or MSS SQL. But what is the biggest difference? It's about storing the content. You can also store every content also in the database, like for example WordPress is doing. They push everything in the database. But we use the GCR, the so-called Java Content Repository. And it has two reasons why we store it in the GCR. GCR is nothing else like, you can say, like a file structure. You have simply a root node, and below the root node you have different nodes, and a node can have properties. And properties can have simple content like author and everything else, and we use the GCR for storing the content because simply when you store something, content management system just wants to display content, because the main reason is when somebody goes on the website, just push the content on the website, and GCR is much faster than a database if you just want to publish something on the website, because you just read it, you can cache it, and the so-called GCR has also nice features like versioning. If you want to use a database, you need to implement it by yourself. GCR has it out of the box, including rights management. And also a nice feature of GCR is that you have at least one workspace, and you can also create another workspace that gives you the functionalities that you have a live environment and you have an edit environment where you can edit something and it's totally different. And you have a publishing process which gives you the possibilities to publish these from the edit mode into the live mode. But that's not necessary, you have at least one workspace. And how it looks like is you have a root node, you have, for example, 2 news entries, and you have the properties like a title, author, date, content, and an attachment. An attachment is simple in this case, a simple logo. And you have a second node like the news, where you have only a title, author, date, and content. And JAHIA provides an API which can read this information and publish it to the website and also manipulate it. You can also create new nodes. And like I talked about the workspaces, we have out of the box 2 workspaces. We have the default workspace, and the default workspace can look like the first one. You have two nodes of news, including properties with the content. And you have, for example, the live workspace, where you don't have the news 2 node, because it hasn't gone through the publishing process. JAHIA provides also the possibilities to have an external data source. Through the external data source, you just want to connect simple data source, for example, a database or a file system, or also on the external APIs, like ES provides. And what we want to do is just we want to mount these information into the GCR. The external data source gives you also the possibilities to search something. You can also write content or create content through the external data source in the different data source, for example in DALIM. And you can also have lazy loading. This means you just can load content, for example, from one folder, and if you have a folder below, then you read the folder below. And yeah, what we want to change now is exactly this attachment. This attachment should now come from DALIM, because the pictures are available, for example, in DALIM. And the external data source provides the possibilities. And we just create a provider factory. A provider factory gives you the possibilities to create multiple instances. For example, you have also 2 ES servers, or you want to access them through different username and password to read different content out of the system. And we have implanted this in just a simple mount point. This means in JAHIA you are able just to mount DALIM as, for example, like Frederick told yesterday also about the S3 buckets from Amazon, and we handle it DALIM like the bucket. Just we mount the information, and we are able then to drag and drop this information. We can search through our content management system on DALIM. Yeah, and what does the implementation do? We just need an internal identifier. On DALIM side, you just have simple identifier. You can use them. Also then to retrieve where the file is stored through the API, and also get meta information. What we then do is just we map this information into the JAHIA external mapping, and we are able just to publish everything on our content management system. We also have a so-called file provider, which gives you the possibilities just to get these files. You can also take a look if, for example, this file is also a folder and has, for example, pictures below. And we're also able to get the binaries, and also we have simple functionalities like to get also a thumbnail if a thumbnail is created. We also provide a list of other providers, but these are necessary just to reach or to read this information out of the DALIM connector. And the DALIM provider is implemented through the ESA4 API, and there are 2 communication modes are possible just to get information out of the system, for example as JPEG or as HTML, and you have also the method to post information, and you receive all information as a JSON object out of ES4. And what the ES4 API also support is CRUD support, so you're able to create something into ES4, you can read information, you can update, you can also delete this information, but the DALIM provider just provides reading information, because we just want to read information, but we will also be able just to send information from the content management system to store this information if you have any business case for the website, for like HomeAway, you want to just add pictures which you made from your booking and you haven't been so satisfied about the hotel, or you would have been very satisfied and have made pictures of the food from the buffet which was served, so you would also be able just to send this information to them. Yeah, we just created a simple DALIM point in our product, so you can just give them a simple name, like for example DALIM. You just need a URL of the ES4 system. You need a user, and you also need a password. After that is successful, you can just simply select a target bound point. So in our content management system, all DALIM information will be available under digital or, for example, files. Yeah, what do you need to access ES? You just need a DALIM session. To get a DALIM session, you need the DALIM user, the URL, and the password. And after that, you get a cookie. And you can use this cookie for performance reason. If you just send these cookies, you don't need to do the login every time, because you just send the login, and so it gets much faster. So after that, you just have the mount points, and you have your mount point which is available. You have the URL, and so it looks like in our content management system. You could add a new mount point also for another DALIM server. Yeah, what are we reading out of the DALIM system? We're just reading all folders and the list of these files. Actually, right now we just have been focused on pictures, but we would also be able to read any kind of documentations like PDFs or everything else what is stored in the system. It just need to be expanded in the code. We also read all metadata out of the system. For example, the name, description, creation date, the DALIM core information, and a bunch of stuffs what can be also queried after that. And how it looks like in the system, it looks like when you browse the information, you have the folder structures. When you click on the folder, you have also the pictures, and if you select the pictures, you get all the information from the pictures. You get a preview, and if you would click on the content, you would also get the further information, most created, latest update, and everything. Yeah, and Frederick will show you how we made it on our content management system, and this is DALIM preview for specific folder samples. And what you can also do is just, if you have a folder, we can iterate the folder and get all the pictures represented then on a simple website. And you can also get, for example, picture properties, which are also read out of the DALIM system. And here another look. So you can also have a preview mode, and you see also the pictures in a content repository. So folder, when you click on the folder, you get all the images on the left side. We also provide search functionalities on DALIM. So if you want the folder name, you can just type in our folder name, our content management system, and it will create a GCR query, which is then converted into the JSON query, which is necessary to get the content, and we also get all metadata information are searchable through the system. We're also working on caching mechanisms, so that the information out of DALIM won't be read every time, because you can imagine if you have 5,000 users on the website, 5,000 times to contact the DALIM system. Shouldn't be any technical problem, but maybe 5 million in 1 hour. And so we're working on caching. That means that we are also caching all folders, including all metadata, and also all binary files, including the thumbnails. So it's out of performance. So we read them once, we're holding the cache. If they change through the connection, we just reload them and we'll put them directly in the cache. how to do it. I will now hand over to
Yes, that's one. Okay, so we have some just minutes to demonstrate how it looks like. Oops. So on my side, I've got two virtual machines, one which is yes, and the other one which is the JAHIA server. Of course, you can get both on the same machine, but it makes more sense in terms of security and publishing tour. So, you know, of course, here's 5. So my just start with that. So my idea is what is yes, I was able to figure out the workflow and made some approval to publish in my website, and especially for that folder. So I've got that folder, but I made also another one. So I know that we have a very nice car, but as I'm a little bit around a lag gas emission sometimes, so I took some picture of the latest Porsche 911. I've got some sliders and I've got some video. So of course today you can do a lot of things around the video, around the picture, but my purpose is to be able to publish that content into the website. Okay. So as I said at the beginning, we great intent to simplify the way our people are working, and so something we can do is something that looks like that. This is a desktop. So we have some widgets, but of course, if you are trying to, because you saw some requests of people, trying to simulate how it looks like on an iPhone, perhaps you have to think before how it looks like. So mine is now, okay, I've got a website, and my website is based on JAHIA. So how I can do things. So this is my website, and so as you can see, a couple of the pictures are coming at the top of the banner, are coming from my folder. So I will just go to the edit mode, so just to give you an idea. So okay. So this is the edit mode of my website. Of course, you have an administrator mode. Here you can find the mounting point. So this is the place where I set up the server. So of course you can unmount or you can mount the volume, or you can set up as many as you want different mounting points. We have also a library of modules. So all the modules are also linked to the JAHIA store, so you want to get access to USB storage. And of course, if you're searching for DALIM, you can find the DALIM connector. And you can directly download the DALIM connector from the website, in fact. Okay? And then, so I have to go to the edit mode, and for the edit mode, what I did, in fact, is I set up some galleries, and here you can view all of my photos. So of course I've got some samples on the website, but I can get a direct access to all my photos and my pictures from ES. Okay? So the only thing I have to do, and this is also the idea, instead of making a link to each picture, I'm just synchronizing, in fact, the page with that folder. So the idea is when you will upload some new pictures, you do not have to, it will be updated on the website itself. Okay? And so as soon as now it's okay, what I can do is I can come back to the previous month, the preview month. So before approving my website, so I can get something like that. So this one is, in fact, the video is in yes. So this is one. As you can see there, I've got a couple of these features. So what can I do too is, if I click there, I can go to the right video. I set up another one, I think, which is this one. And this one will give me a direct access to the video viewer and to add, as for example, to do some approval or to manage annotation at the top. But what I like also to do is, as for example, if I'm coming back to ES, I'd like to update a picture. And so what I have to do is just simply go to my folder, which is this one, okay. And here at this stage, I've got some, I'd like to update this feature, which is used on the banner. So the only thing I have to do is to log into just finding my revisions. And my revisions is in fact just adding the DALIM logo. So what I will do is just drag and drop the file, uploading, and of course the file will be uploaded into ES. Okay. And so if I just refresh my banner, what you can see is that the picture has been updated. Okay. So this is the purpose. I just wanted to just to finish to show the galleries. Okay. So in fact, I think I meant because I created a new tab there, and this tab has 1,000 features from CAM. So what you can do is something like that, and the idea is of course to get. You can see that you have access to all the metadata. Okay, from the features. If you're updating the metadata from ES, it will be available into the system. Of course, the search is available. So if I'm searching for CAM, you've got a filter online. But the most important for us is also, so not that picture, is also to get a search gallery view. So if the idea is to provide another way to make some stunning galleries. And there's 4 examples of these galleries. It's not something which is updated. Afterwards, we try to get some slideshows, some carousels, some other way to display the pictures. Okay. So I've got, for example, my pictures from cats, and all of these assets of my gallery are just coming from my ES. So this is for the gallery view, and of course, which is something important, is because this is the purpose also. It has to work on the mobile, so the website is fully responsive, and the content is just adaptive to your screen. So what we saw, managing the assets into ES. Get mounting points into JAHIA and using the content to publish my web banners, my videos, and everything there. And so, just to display that this plugin is available on the JAHIA store, and as said, Olivier, you can download the community version, the free version, and you can test it. Thank you. I will get to ask one question before we perhaps you get some questions. What kind of CMS experience have you got on your side? Is it something coming from your customer? I'd like to get to build an enterprise website. Have you ever get in touch with the fact that I like to use the content of my ES to repurpose this content on the website?
Well, it's a common request, and
yeah.
Of course, my last questions I bothered R&D regarding what Christoph showed us, which are the renditions. I think, of course, that's the most important thing. Of course, it's good to have the metadata which you can provide to display, to threading, linking, and so on. You can all do all the logic behind in the CMS system in JAHIA itself. But of course, you would never ever just upload a JPEG to the DALIM system, to the DAM system. Of course, you would upload some high-res PSV, TIFF files, whatever. And of course, you would then say in the context, what file do I want to display? For example, for shock systems, you need an image with a drop shadow, you need a large and a small image, and so on. So the output channels for print and so on.
Yes, and in fact, in JAHIA, you have some profile also to set up, as regards especially for video, what kind of video you have, full width, HD. So you have two models to and you based on using the API OBS to repurpose, to change the content, and to adapt the content to the portal. And the one more thing also is for we're working on a new version, gets updates of course every month. And the next step is to get all the dialogue capabilities into the CMS with a couple of setups based on the users and profiles.
Any other questions to either Fred or gentlemen from JAHIA while they're here? Guess not. Well then, thanks a lot for coming. I hope it was worthwhile for you. I hope you made some good contacts and of course enjoyed the show. And thank you, Fred.
That's
So that means